stories. I do, in terms of election night, I prepare models and do design work to allow us on election night to get a vast amount of data thrown at us and as quickly as possible turn it into the overall picture. I mean, I remember when we designed the computer system we use on election night, the whole aim of this system, all this data coming in and being stored and calculations done, the whole aim of it was to get a little line at the end when you show a chamber of parliament that said party majority of. Now, how do you get all these just bits of numbers that arrive and turn it into something like what's all the logic involved in doing that? The biggest difficulty is that what you need to do with a project like calling an election is what you do is most of the information is done beforehand. You build up this huge amount of information of results. And what you're doing on those is getting the results you've got, and from a minimal amount of data, comparing it with the stuff you stored, and then making a prediction based on that. Yeah. And that's the hard part.
All right, so you made the point that most of the work is done before the election. How much before the election? When does it all begin?
Well, for instance, it's September. I've been engaged in discussions for several months with the Western Australian Electoral Commission about next year's election. They're changing the way they're providing data. We're negotiating how the data would look and the best way, what should be included, what doesn't have to be included.
When is that election?
It's in March next year.
Right.
On their side of the system, they've got a lot of IT work they have to do, and they want to make sure they're providing everything they can to us. When I first started this 20 years ago, there wasn't the internet, and you used to rely on faxes to get information, and people would send you discs. So things have changed an awful lot in terms of technology. I now do things like blogs, which I didn't used to do. They take up a lot of time, and doing interesting things for that is really interesting. We get a lot more data than we used to. Once upon a time, the data was a very small packet of data, which was used by, you had to be in the tally room to get access to it. Nowadays, vast files with intricate details down to polling place level put on file transfer sites, and you can download it from anywhere. The public can download the data and do what it likes with it. The Electoral Commission doesn't publish history or make predictions of who's winning. That's something we do in the media. So I manipulate that data to do things which actually make it more useful for someone trying to do analysis. There's a difference between presenting data and analysing data, and I'm sort of doing that bit which is taking the data and trying to analyse it as it comes in.
So what's most important? Is it analysing polling? Is it about past voting patterns? Is it doing a statistical analysis?
I'm doing election night generally. I think polls are interesting, but I think there's far too much coverage of polls.